Yo, yo, yo. What is up? Good evening. Good evening. We are here for a little impromptu for everyone else, kind of slightly planned for Sean and I, discussion on I'm going to say surprising backlash from the whole John Cena retirement. Obviously, I did a watch along. Shout out to everyone who was able to join and who watched on replay. Appreciate that. Um, and for everyone who was out living their life like you, Sean, going to Christmas parties and stuff, I feel you there. But
Yeah.
it we're obviously going to be getting into it. I didn't honestly expect it to get so much backlash that it has. So yeah, obviously that's why we wanted to sit down here and kind of go over everything. Obviously, we'll pull up the chat here. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, if you can hear Sean okay. Um, oh, I didn't even throw our little name tags up there. And
Yeah.
then the
Come on,
comments, yeah,
Ash. You
I'm
haven't
not
told me.
used
I
I'm
mean, they
not
know
used
who
to
you
having a
are, but they don't
guest.
know who I am. Come on.
I'm
Well,
not
they
used to
probably
having
do,
a
but
guest. And like the comments will go I wonder if I can move the comments. The comments will go right over you. So you can kind of switch them out to people know me, so
yeah.
I'm not concerned about them any like, oh my god, what are you guys doing? People know me by now.
I'll say. I mean, again, I know I always say, and I'm kind of a broken record when I'm on with you, but again, I always, I consider again you a friend. We always just enjoy talking wrestling and other just life stuff, and it's always good when and awesome when you invite me to be on here just to talk any kind of wrestling with you. So this is a blast. This is a fun show to talk about.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And I'm gonna remove the comments because it's kind of rude, I feel, having the comments right all over like your tab. I was gonna see if I could like move them over, but the comments that display on the screen there, so I'm gonna take
Oh,
that
right.
off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, of course. I felt like this is one of those shows that would be fun to have someone on to discuss it, right? And to kind of pick the brain because it's really polarizing. Like I said, I didn't expect it to get this much backlash,
Right.
but in in my opinion, for people to be kind of divided, I feel like you're either on one side. I haven't listened to any. I've listened to part of one review show, but I haven't listened to like PW Torch or anyone else's for that matter.
Yeah.
Because I kind of once I knew we were going to be doing this, I kind of wanted to stay unbiased and kind of just wait and kind of talk about it and then go back and it'll always be there
Right.
audio, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, from what I've seen like on Twitter at least though, it looks like everyone is either you're on this side of absolutely, it's the time honored tradition. I think that's even what Triple H said. I didn't even watch the WWE's post
Yeah,
media
I didn't
scrum, whatever
either.
they
I
call it.
didn't either.
Okay, cool. Yeah, pretty much once we finished the watch along, I dipped and did other stuff.
I'm glad you
But
got to do that. That was cool. You got to do that too. That was
yeah, me. It was a fun show to do it. Sometimes they don't. It's easier to do some shows than other. We'll say, especially scheduling wise. But yeah,
yeah.
man, and of course it was a big show, right?
Mhm.
But with those
Absolutely.
prices, I don't know if you even dabbled into looking at the ticket prices. I did.
Oh gosh, I want to know. I'm curious. I didn't see, so I am curious. I
No,
want you to know.
they. So to be fair, when I looked like a month ago,
Mhm.
they were like the nosebleed seats were like over it was like 400 and some change before the fees, and that's more than I paid for WrestleMania for like damn near nosebleed seats for night
Wow,
two.
that's crazy. That is
And
wild.
and that was WrestleMania 40, so we're talking
Two
a
grand.
big deal, it's freaking WrestleMania compared to in a stadium compared to again another big deal, John Cena, right? But I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say John Cena retiring is bigger than WrestleMania. So, like, for the
No,
prices to be that much, especially in Capital One Arena, like technically, like being from Virginia, like Capital One Arena is like your go-to arena now because there's no other real arena in Richmond besides like this Norfolk scope. But like, just depending on the show, but
yeah, mhm.
it's not like it's not worth that money. And I get like John Cena is supposed to sell the ticket, but like unreal prices. They did end up dropping. I checked sometime last week. I forget the day. It was like midweek. They didn't end up dropping that same area. I think was like closer to 300. So probably like roughly around like $100 or so.
Okay.
But
Well, that's
still like
still a lot.
still
That's still.
around the same. Yeah, like that's just. I was like, and of course the lower. you go down and the closer you get to the ring, like some of those prices, like thousands. And I saw
I was gonna
some.
say it had to be like 4 or 5. I was thinking like 4 or 5 grand probably for being up
Oh,
close.
easily floor seats, easily, dude. And there were some packages that I saw. I don't remember everything that it included, but there was like some like ringside collectible type seats and
Yeah.
packages going for like 15, 20 grand.
Oh my
And you got to meet John Cena. You got to like walk down the runway thing. And I think there
holy
obviously there
crap.
was a few other things. Like you got like a lanyard, priority entry, like via like shit like that. But like I don't know, I was just like, dude, like no, like John
Wow.
Cena better be spending the whole day with me at the
Yeah.
very least. Like, and we better be
Yeah.
going to the after party, like some stuff.
That's
But
great.
like
That's too much. I mean, I'm
just
sorry. It's ridiculous.
ridiculous, man. So yeah, that answered my question on whether I was going because like I have family in Virginia, so it wouldn't have been. I pretty much would just pay for the ticket and the flight up there. I could stay with like a friend or something and drive up and then drive back down because it's like a 2-hour drive at that point. But even then, dude, I was like, I can't justify it. I can't
No.
justify it, dude. And like like John Cena's cool and everything. I was never like the biggest Cena fan, but respect, all that good stuff. But and it would have been cool to be there for that type of moment and that night because overall it still was a historic night, as they say, right? But
Mhm.
man, especially in retrospect, like I don't have that FOMO, man. I don't have that fear like I like the fear of missing out type thing. Like I don't really.
Mhm.
Again, it would have been really cool to be there, but
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
kicking myself. You know what I mean?
No, no. I'll say just going into this, talking about just one of the Cena parts that drives me crazy. I know we've talked about it on other shows. We've heard it on other shows, and I just I understand why they try to spew the fact that John Cena is the GOAT. Okay, I know why they try to sell that narrative, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just in theory. I mean, Cena had his value. He was very very good for a long period of time. He got better in the ring. We know all that stuff about Cena, but he was never the greatest of all time in any way. The greatest wrestler, greatest money drawer, greatest, I mean, people. It was a mixed bag for a long time. Some people loved him, but a lot of people hated him. So to sit, I mean, yes, it's a reaction, which they all said, "Oh, you got to get a reaction," and he did, but it's not the one you want if you're trying to call somebody the greatest. And yeah, you could say, "Oh, he won the most titles and all that," but again, when you win the most titles, you lose it 17 times. And it's just a for me, it's just a false narrative to sit there and say he's the GOAT when it's just clear to all of us that love wrestling that he's not as good as he was. And I give him credit for all that he has done for the business. I mean, he's done a lot for the business. There's no doubt about that. And he
Mhm.
tries to give back and he tries to do all that, but he's not the GOAT. And it's just that narrative just drives me crazy. Them doing it over and over and over. And it is annoying. It's annoying to hear for me personally.
Well, what about the last real champion? If he's not the goat, then
And that's the other thing too. And I talked about it with Wade, and I brought it up, and he was just like, "Yeah, I don't get why he still when he went back to being a face, which the heel run sucked. We all know how bad that sucked. It was just terrible. I knew I was trying to hold on to hope. I was like, okay, let's see where this
yeah.
goes, and then it was just awful. But yeah, to say you're the last real champion, like that's not a babyface beloved thing to say. It's just not. It was just, and for Lillian to say that again last on Saturday was just like, come on, don't it's just I didn't understand why they did that either.
It's like,
It's
what does that even mean? Like,
I
what?
don't know. I,
So Cody's not a real champion. CM
who
Punk
you're
isn't a
supposed to be
real
trying to
champion.
put over, who you just lost to. You're supposed to be putting Cody over, making Cody feel like, even though Cody's a big star, but you're supposed to be acknowledging him. And when he lost him, he didn't even acknowledge it. He just moved on from it.
Oh yeah, no acknowledgement at all. And it's just funny because like looking back on it, because I kind of went back and rewatched a little bit of it, the ending at least, and
Mhm.
just them putting the titles on him. I'm like, man, like does that even mean anything to him? Because he's the last world champion. So like technically to him, like they aren't even, they're just sorry, Sean, like big ass champions. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. Like I don't know. It's just well, we can dive into like
Yeah.
what Wade had spoken about prior as well regarding like authentic Cena and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why, to be honest, I haven't gone out of my way to listen to any of the interviews that he's done. Just because and it's weird because it's like I don't. What do I, as a fan, like? What do I even really prefer? Do I prefer to? Because like me personally, like I never watched the Unreal show that came out
Yeah,
because
I didn't
I.
either.
Okay, cool. Because like I'm like almost a hypocrite in a way. It's like I, yes, like I love sitting here like talking about it, listening to shows about it, but it's like I don't want to learn this week how they planned last week. I want to wait years, years. That's why I used to love like those, like something to wrestle with before, things got weird. But like just those like well, not recap shows, but just like shows from certain minds in the business who were involved in certain things, just to go over like, depending on their role, like how it came together. But we're talking decades ago at this point. Like I don't really want to know how the sausage is made right now, because we're still eating it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I don't really want to know that. You know what I mean? Like it's too soon, too soon.
yeah,
So that's what I was like. I'm not really. I was intrigued, but I was like, I'm not. It more harm than good for me.
yeah,
So when I think of like interviews that they do, I'm like, man, like what do I even really expect out of them then? Like, do I expect them to go out there and be like the real person, or do I expect them to go out there and be their character? And honestly, like I don't even really know. Like I don't really know what we're supposed to expect out of them. Maybe you have a better idea. But I was kind of thinking about that earlier today because I'm like, man, like why do I want to sit here and listen to someone who's just like faking their answers and just like BSing their answers. You know what I mean? Like I could spend 2 hours doing listening to something else, So
yeah.
but yeah, but then when I started thinking about it even more, I was like, well damn, like how are they supposed to answer? So I don't know, just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, he's always kind of seemed, from the stuff I've listened to him just in the past, like he always has had that corporate thought process. Like he wants to be that corporate guy. He wants to do everything for WWE and for what they're trying to represent. And he's just kind of going to spin that, try to spin that the way he wants to, and in the best way he can. Of course, WWE has stuff. There's things about it that drive us crazy, and he tries to make it good and make it as wholesome as he can, and that's what he's supposed to do. I mean, he's the. I just think since he was gone, it was just that's why I didn't really want this. I mean, I was glad. I understand why they wanted to do a retirement tour because of what Cena has meant to the business. I mean, he has meant a lot to it. He's been around for a long, long time. He's paid his dues. He's given everything he's had in the wrestling sense. I mean, he really truly has. So I understand why they wanted to do this. But even before he had come back on this retirement tour, I had said it the times not even the Bray Wyatt stuff, which that was, I mean, fine for what it was because that was a COVID era. That was different. I mean, we had to do some different stuff. I mean, I understood it was fine. It was good for what that thing was. But then other times he would come back, he just he did feel so phony and forced and just I don't know. He didn't he wasn't genuine at all to me. He just seemed like a guy just playing a go lucky happy go lucky character that just so-called loved everybody, and he was just happy to be there, and he just wanted to do what he was going to do, get the money he was going to get. You knew he was going to get paid super heavy for whatever he did,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't feel super genuine. And again, I'm not saying he's not genuine. Again, I don't know him. I don't want to go listen to every interview. I mean, I've seen enough to know that I think he's genuinely a decent human being. That just wrestling just feels corny a lot of times, feels overblown, and he just kind of goes out of his way to just feel corny, and it just doesn't resonate with me. Even though I was a defender, at times I thought he was trying to do the best he could to get other people over, and that's what I didn't like about this, and we'll talk about it more. But I didn't. No, I'll leave that for separate. But as far as Cena, I just wasn't excited about this retirement tour because I knew what it was going to be. And then the heel turn just messed everything up. It made it even worse because it went down a whole new realm we didn't really want to go down. And then we were like, okay, we're trying to, you and I are very positive. We try to put a good spin on it. Well, maybe they'll do something really cool and it'll be awesome. But it was like 20 years too late. I mean, it was way too late. It should never happen. Who's to blame? There's a lot of people to blame, but it was just bad. It didn't work out. It was good for him to go back to being the good guy that we all we love now. We want to cheer for now. And I'm glad he got the reactions he did. I mean, the fans were completely behind him, and that was cool. I mean, it made this feel more special here the last few months, going into this tournament. But yeah, I mean, he's just kind of who he is, and I'm kind of glad, I appreciate what he's meant to WWE, but I'm kind of glad we're moving on from it. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, and it just really shows too, in my opinion, that they really didn't have it planned out, and that's just
No. Yeah.
kind of like absurd to me. Like this man told you, I don't even know, like we found out what months in advance going into the following year that he was going to be his final year.
Yeah.
And so I can only maybe worse, what we'll call it 4 months. They had a 4 month, we'll say maybe even longer, but we'll call it 4 months just for whatever.
Right.
You had that time to plan out an entire year or X amount of days. What was it, like 35 days or whatever?
Hmm.
And you don't you don't do it, like, or you, because you can't tell me this was the plan like the entire time. And granted, things happen, but to be fair, like what injuries, or I'm, because we try to get benefit of the doubt, right? Like, oh well, for instance, like with the Vision, like, oh well, this was gonna happen, but then Seth got injured, right? Like stuff like that does happen. But like, really, what can you say happened that really altered Cena's trajectory? Like nothing. Like they did the heel turn, which was in the moment very well done and a big deal, right? Like granted, like to me, like I just would not have preferred Rock being involved, and ended up leading to absolutely nowhere, even more so. But it's
Hmm.
just like, okay, cool. So you do that, and then you what? Like you had no plan for the next 6 months, and then
That's what it felt like.
literally on a random SmackDown, he just goes out there and pretty much is just like, yeah, my bad, fans. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like I don't even remember if he actually like apologized. I don't even think he like actually apologized. But he's just like, just like, like, oh, like I was just like lashing out at you guys or whatever, and it's just like, and we just move on, and like everything's kumbaya from there, and we just, okay, now we've hit the 6 month mark and we just move on like that didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what was so weird about that. When those first three promos overseas, when he just ripped the fans. Oh, you guys held me down for so long, and but all the stuff he was saying, all these so-called legitimately bad things he was saying about these fans that he said was holding them back and never really loved him to begin with and never really had his back and never really did all this. So all of a sudden you have a match where you lose the title back, and all of a sudden you're just happy go lucky. I love everybody. Like it doesn't make sense. Like nobody's gonna
No,
buy into that. Like
no.
it was weird. It just it doesn't it wasn't a good thing. They should have just had, in my opinion, if you're gonna do a retirement tour, just have him because everybody has been wanting to cheer him the last few times he had been back before this retirement tour started. The fans were into him at this
Mm-hmm.
point because he wasn't around a lot, and it's like, okay, the heart absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? He's gone for a while. He comes back for a little bit. You love him. He's had some good matches. Like, okay, it's cool. It's fine. What really hurt me was when he had the match with Theory. You're trying to build Austin Theory up, which I'm
Yeah,
still very high on Austin Theory. I still think it. Well,
me too.
I'll say if he is the masked man, which I do think it is him. I really do. I think if it is him, then I think this could be a big thing for him. I think you're putting him in this faction with Paul Heyman and Braun
Mm-hmm.
Breaker. This could be the start of something really good for him. But I think when that happened with him and Cena, I thought, okay, you have Theory who you're trying to put over. If Cena's really invested, which I just didn't feel like he was invested. He just did this stupid promo where he
No.
just buried the guy, totally buried him. And then the match at WrestleMania was awful. And it was like, okay, that's when I was ready for him just to be gone. And then they did the retirement tour, and I'm like, oh gosh, we got to do more of this. And then the stuff with Solo where, yeah, Solo beat him down, but he played it just, he's so goofy the way he acts in the ring. And it was just like, oh my gosh, you're just overplaying all of this stuff, man. Don't do that.
Yeah, and it's, like part of me isn't even necessarily fully against them pulling the trigger on the heel turn and trying it and being like, okay, we have a year. Makes sense, if you're
But
gonna
have a
try it.
plan, though. Have a
But
plan.
exactly,
Like they didn't
exactly.
have a
Like,
plan.
and that's my point. Like, if you do this big angle, okay, like I think I saw something actually, now thinking about it, that Travis Scott was supposed to be involved in it, right? And since Travis Scott didn't end up panning out, oh, the whole thing was tanked. I'm sorry, you're your retirement tour for supposedly the GOAT, what you tell us is the GOAT and the last real champion, is banked on Travis Scott.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's bad. Just even saying that name, that just
Like, what? So I don't know what's worse. And the more we sit here and like dig into it, it just like seems worse. And like it's crazy because like I don't even want to be negative about it. Is that the? Oh no, I thought that was the fire alarm for a second. I don't even want to sit here and be negative about it because that's not the point of it. It's just a discussion, right? Just to sit here
right.
and kind of
Yeah, just
like think over the last year because there have been a lot of great moments. Like, what up, everyone in the chat? But
what's up, chat?
sorry to say the name, but Lucifer CJ Payne is the handle here. Sorry to say that, Sean. But the he was like, where'd he go? There's a couple good matches. I know one was with AJ. I think he said.
Yeah, the
Yes,
AJ
he
match was
said.
fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. He was like, I like his SummerSlam match with Cody, and then match is probably my second favorite. And the AJ thing was really cool and probably higher up there just in general for me because of how it came together. Like to me, like a lot of people shit on that, and I just thought it was kind of cool. Like they
Yeah.
just sent out a couple of tweets. Like that, and that
Hmm.
shows you right there. Like it didn't need to be this big of a deal. Like this whole thing, like I don't know if they overthought it too much, and they were just like, screw it, we'll just figure it out when we get there because it was
Yeah.
too much pressure, or they were just like, oh, it is what it is, and we'll just wing it. And I don't again know what's worse, but
Yeah.
yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. But it's a shame because we did miss out on, I would say, a good amount of matches that we could have gotten from younger talent, at least. But
Yeah. The Cena Cody. I mean, the SummerSlam match was fine. It's just that they were so overbooked. I'm just tired of ref bumps. I'm tired of all the interference. I just that doesn't do it for me as a fan. I don't enjoy those kind of matches. I knew they were going to have it. It was what it was, but it didn't make me like it anymore. It was better than the WrestleMania match. I mean, I'll say that, but
yeah,
I I I don't know. I just the stuff with Cody, I didn't like it from the beginning. I didn't think it was good, and I didn't think it helped Cody. It hurt Cody in a lot of ways too. He's still over him, and the fans still like him, but I don't think that helped him in any way.
no.
I wish he just stayed away from it. But yeah, I mean, Cena. I mean, great career, no doubt about it. I mean, like I said, did say somebody say top five, and I agree. I think he's the top five of all time. I do. I think he's in that top five of. I mean, now granted, there's a lot of guys, so I mean, it's very subjective. I mean, you could put a lot
Yeah,
of guys up there. I
I
mean, the
think top
top
five
the
pretty
top
much
two
works.
are
Yeah.
or the top two are solid. There's nobody getting in that top two unless somebody does something really incredible that we haven't seen yet. That we're like, wow, this is going to be amazing. But the top two are sold. But I think you could put him in the top five, and I'm totally fine with it. The longevity, the championships, the I mean, just everything about what he did. I enjoyed him for what he was, and he got better over time. All the matches with AJ were all good. I mean, especially the
Oh yeah.
SummerSlam and Royal Rumble matches back in the day were both great, both fantastic. Even the Batista stuff was okay. It wasn't my favorite, but it was fine. And then the stuff with Shawn Michaels back in the day was great. The Kurt Angle, obviously, even the first match they had was great. I mean, it was actually a really good TV match. I mean, you can see the potential Cena had. It just took a while to kind of show it, but he developed over time. His wrestling, and yeah, he had the certain moves he did all the time, but he evolved, and got better. So I mean, I appreciate that about him. I do.
Yeah, and I think at least to that case, like longevity definitely plays a role. Like
Definitely.
because when you think about it, like it's crazy to think that Austin was as hot as he was for only 4 years, 5 years, if that. 4 years?
Yeah, it was
97 to what, 01 you would
well 5 or 6.
call it?
Because even till
5 or 6?
even when he retired in '03, he was still top
Yeah, but
03. I
like
mean,
active wrestler wise, like top, like in that regard. Yeah, like,
yeah, yeah.
because to me, like some of his most entertaining shit to me was when he was the sheriff and like ride around the ATV and just doing dumb stuff like that. And like not to get it sidetracked, but like his heel run, a lot of people crap on that too, but I really enjoyed it because we got things like him with Kurt in the back, like his segments with Kurt. Remember when I don't know if you saw it, but he would always wear his cowboy hat Austin at one point was wearing a cowboy hat, and he
Mm-hmm.
got Kurt one of those little straw little baby hat things. It was like a straw hat that he had, like it was like tied around his chin. It was like the craziest thing.
Oh, okay.
But you got to go back and watch all that stuff. It's I don't know. I've seen it too many times, but yeah, man, it's just crazy to think about longevity at the top when you compare them. Because even like The Rock is kind of similar to Austin, like in ring career wise, like being at the top. So it's just crazy. But it's definitely an interesting discussion to think about where he ranks.
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy. It'd be fun to. I mean, I've never done a ranking like that because I had gone in and out for so long. Like I've been in for the last probably 10 years, but before that, I was kind of out for a while. But I mean, like I said, I'm not. I mean, I think top five would be fair, but top 10. I mean, I definitely top 10. If not top five, I think definitely top 10. I mean, I think you could. I think you have to have him in your top 10. I think that would be a little crazy if he wasn't there. If you top five subjective, I mean, there's so many great wrestlers over the years that were good in so many different ways. But I just think he had the longevity and like I said, evolved his character over time. Um, and I think he's worthy. I think it was they should have celebrated him, and I just think it was a little overdone and a little overbearing with the goat and the real champion and the everybody. I mean, what did you think? I'm curious with you as far as Punk. That was crazy how emotional he got on that when he was talking about Cena there
How
at the
much
end. That
Punk
was
got, or how
yeah.
emotional Punk? Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
was very kind of surprised. I mean, not that I think Punk doesn't have respect for Cena because obviously
Well,
they had some great feuds over the years, but it was surprising just seeing it. I didn't expect it. It was cool. It was cool.
yeah. To be fair though, like I have to me, they've always had because even in Punk's like pipe bomb or whatever, which I hate the phrase pipe bomb, but
Hmm.
even during that promo, he mentioned, like I respect you, John, and I feel like they've always respected each other.
Yeah,
Now, have they always probably like really liked each other? Probably not,
yeah.
but they are. I think they called each other. I think like John had done some like word association type thing in one interview, and like they would just name out random wrestlers, and he would give like one word. And for Punk, he said like soulmate essentially.
Mhm.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Because at one point he I think he did an interview on Edge and Christian's podcast years ago before they returned to the ring, and they had called each other like an old shoe. It's like like that old tennis shoe, like that old pair of shoes that you can just slide in and you're just good to go. Like you
Oh
don't need
yeah,
to really
right.
tie them. You just they're just always so comfortable, always fit
Yeah,
just right. They called each other like each other's shoe. So I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting.
yeah.
So yeah, when he said that about Punk, I was like, like, and then like you said with Punk's emotion, it was like, wow, like I don't know, it just really kind of stood out and it just kind of hit you a little bit more.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It
but
did.
I mean, then you got your typical Cody like crying, like damn near in tears, so no surprise there.
No, no.
Um, but I did see there's a question. What up, K Smith? Raw is in Hershey, Pennsylvania tonight,
Mhm.
though.
It is.
Hershey, PA, and obviously Gunther is advertised for the show.
He is.
I was seeing if okay, no, it just says after making John Cena tap out, blah blah blah. Yeah, I was trying to see if like he was opening the show or if they announced that portion, but the lineup for Raw is
It's good.
pretty set. They have the Usos taking or fighting against the New Day, which I wish it kind of would have waited to go back to that match, but it is what it is. It's obviously going to be good, and not going to be a one and done at all. But I was just like, damn, like the Usos just got back together and you're already doing the match next week. Like you couldn't like space it out a bit, but I guess they don't have anything until the Rumble now, like
Yeah.
PLE wise, because there's no. That was the last Saturday night's main event because it's what the 15th.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And they're telling that story. I mean, I mean, I don't want to get too out because I want to get definitely. We definitely got to get into Gunther Cena for sure. But the I think Jay really needs to turn. I really do. I hope he does. I don't want. I mean, as much as I love the Usos as a team, I mean they're great. They're fantastic. They're one of they're a great tag team. But I just Jay turning heel would be such a cool, good move for him, and it'd
Hmm.
freshen him up a bit. It really freshen him up and get him doing something we haven't seen in a long time, like in a different, in it, not the way he was with the Bloodline, but a different Jay, like by himself Jay, standing on his own Jay, but nasty Jay, like mean Jay. Like I want to see that. I want to see a different side to him than what we've been seeing. It's just it's too much. This is the entrances are just way too over the top now. It's getting too much. The coming into the ring and we got to do it again, and I don't know. I want something fresh for him.
Yeah, man. And that's kind of, I mean, I guess we all probably assume that. I was just watching this thing that Netflix apparently made like a tribute video to Cena, and WWE had reposted it because I was on WWE's Twitter page for the lineup for tonight. And I
Okay.
was, they have it like a closed caption for it. And it's like a compilation of Cena saying like various things about, how it's okay to fail and just get back up and brush it, like it's okay to fail, just brush your shoulders off type thing. Is the gist. I can't play it obviously because we'll, get stricken. But it's and I guess we'll kind of use this as a segue to get to what happened because yeah, it's all fine and dandy that get up and pick yourself up and brush your shoulders off and all that stuff, and it's okay to like fail and stuff, but like, and I, to be honest and completely transparent, like I didn't even think about it in the moment when I was watching it live, with everyone, the other side and like where people are coming from, like that side. And the more I think about it, it does make a lot of sense to me. To me, going into the match, I expected Gunther to win. I expected Cena to just pass out, though. I thought it was going to be one of those things where he's in the sleeper hold. Gunther has applied it numerous times throughout the match. It's one of those like brutal, hard hitting matches. Whatever. Cena's all not. I thought maybe he was going to get a little bloodied, but whatever.
Yeah.
I expected the
Yeah.
chest to be all like
I did too.
terrible.
Yeah.
Um, but the and I expected at least like 2 or 3 attempts on the sleeper hold, which we got. And actually, and I thought about it later on too because I'll get to the five knuckle shuffle in a second. But I didn't expect him to tap out, and that's why I was shocked, right? I think that's why we all were shocked. But I did expect him to lose and to essentially like pass out, So I don't know. That's technically not giving up, right? Because you're not physically typing out or verbally saying it,
Mhm.
but I do. So to me, like watching it live, that was just what was shocking in and of itself, and that's just kind of where I left it. Like, oh wow, like he actually tapped out. Like it's so it's a shocking moment, right? Like he taps out, it's a big deal, whatever. Looking back on it though, and thinking about it, it does mean so much more because of who John Cena is, and because his whole moniker, besides the hustle, loyalty, respect, is to never give up. Like that's literally the biggest thing, like one of the biggest things on his shirt is to never give up. So to be that guy who has gone X amount of years without giving up, it is an interesting way to end your career because it's like, damn, dude, like you couldn't hold on. Like this was like, I don't know. And to me, like again, watching it live, like I thought the whole like smirk on the face was kind of poetic because it's like, okay, like he's accepting that this is it, like he obviously he knows this is his last match, he can't go on anymore, so he's just accepting his fate, right? It's like that leader who like falls in front of the sword, right, for his
Mhm.
team, like he knows this is going to be it, but he's like sacrificing himself, right? Like this is the end. um and so for him to just kind of bow out like that, like to me, like at first it didn't really make me that mad, but I do totally understand the significance of it being John Cena, because John Cena never gives up, right? Like that's his whole one of his literally his whole thing. So the fact that he can't come back and redeem himself or anything, it's just like, damn. So we leave it like that, and then he doesn't speak at all, which I thought was kind of interesting. No words from him at all. Obviously, he leaves his shoes, everything in the ring. Not the George, thankfully though, he kept those on. And then gave us a final salute, and he was, that was pretty much it. But I don't know, like I'm not as outraged. Again, I understand completely the whole character thing, and it is kind of absurd to think that this dude goes all these years and going through all those I Quit matches, ambulance matches, like all the crazy shit that he's been through, and he can't hold on now. Like, this is it, dude. Like, just like it's almost like, on the flip side, it's like, damn, like, you're gonna die anyway. At least hold on to the last breath. So I don't know. Those are kind of my thoughts, really quick. Um, so what say you?
So going into the match, I honestly I thought he would tap. I
Hmm.
because again,
Okay.
you're talking about Cena, who yes hasn't tapped out in a long time, because he has before. It's just been a long time. And you have Gunther, who to me, little by little, he's still a big star, but I think they've hurt him by losing to Jay and having some matches that he's had with guys that have gone way too long with him. I think this was one of those matches where I think you had to have Gunther, who's going to be around for a long time. And going back to, you just had him retire Goldberg, which, say whatever you want about Goldberg, but I think they're wanting to have Gunther put these guys, like, quote unquote, out of their misery, like, and Goldberg and Cena, maybe future guys, maybe a Brock down the line. I think you want to have Gunther look very, very strong at the end of this match. And with Cena, that's a fair point, as far as, he's gone through all these matches and he's busted, he's worked, he's gone, 30, 40 minutes, and he's battled through all this stuff and he doesn't give up. But I mean, he did fight. It's not like he just, had a sleeper and 2 seconds later, I mean, he put him in a sleeper 3 or 4 times, and it took a while for him to finally give up. I mean, it wasn't like, if it would have been just something super quick, I mean, it would have been okay. That just doesn't make any sense, because I mean, he is a fighter. That's his, like you were saying, that's his motto. But they'd been through a grueling match. He put him in the sleeper. He got out of it. He fought out. I understood the psychology. I was fine with it. I didn't understand the outrage. I really didn't. I don't understand why people, and this, I mean, this is, again, subjective, but I don't understand, to me, why Cena doesn't need to win his last match. He won for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. A lot of times we didn't want the guy to, and you could say, well, we didn't want him to win now or then, but we do now. Okay, that's fine, but it's time to put Gunther over. Gunther needs to win this match decisively. He needs to. He's Gunther. He's your future guy that you're going to be one of the bigger stars you're supposedly going to have in your company for the next 4, 5, 6 years. And just to, I think that's a good way to have Gunther keep this motto of, I said he was going to give up, and he did. And he's going
Yeah.
to play with it huge now, man. You know how he's going to speak about that tonight? You know he is, and it's going to be great. And we're going to boo it, and we're going to want to, it's going to play into the the story of what he's been, his character, like, moving forward. And again, Cena, I mean, the match had some really good moments. I thought it was a good match. It wasn't my, favorite Cena match. I mean, it wasn't my favorite Gunther match, but it was good.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't want to see Gunther take necessarily two five knuckle shuffles. I didn't need two AAs, but I understand it. I mean, it's a Cena match. You're gonna get it. I don't know. I would have maybe done it. I don't know how I would have done it different, but I guess I would have done it a little different. But I liked the ending. I thought it was fine. I didn't understand the backlash for it. It fits Gunther's character. It fits what he's saying. I was gonna make him give up. I was gonna make him tap, and he did. And I think it gets him more heat now, and even more heat. And I think it's great. And Cena, even the afterwards, I mean, he didn't talk, but he's been talking in interviews for the last year. I mean, he's been talking plenty in his promos about how much he cares about everybody, especially the last few months. I just, I wish he would have said something, but I think them showing him the love and them doing all the videos, I think it was fine. I thought it was good. I mean, you can always say what I do differently, and yeah, I would have liked to see him talk maybe a little bit for maybe 5 minutes or something, just a quick little, hey, I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys kind of thing. But I thought overall it was pretty well done. I didn't really have a big issue with it, with that part of the night. I thought it was fine, and the stuff with Cena throughout the night was really good. I mean, Stephanie, some people say she's over the top, but I thought Stephanie felt genuine. I think she does. Obviously, they're really close, and I think she cares about him a lot, and she's going to miss him. And a lot of people in that company are. I mean, he's meant a lot to him. He's still going to be around to some degree, but I thought it was fine. I really did.
He's gonna be around in a suit now, apparently.
Yeah. Ooh, that's going to
Which
be
I
something.
mean, obviously we've seen in real life doing, like carpets and shit like that, but seeing him in a suit in WWE is just gonna be so like wild. Um, but yeah, no, like I I agree with you, man. Like I just if he's gonna like if you're going to have him tap out, okay, but like if that's the route, which obviously they knew going into it, it's like all right, like this is it, like we made up our mind, like Cena's gonna lose and he's gonna tap out. Then don't have him smile. Like don't have him like have
Yeah,
it look
that's
like a
fair.
real struggle. Like have it look like
Yeah.
this dude literally is giving everything he can because this is his last match where and like he's fighting like tooth and nail, like he's like scratching to get to the bottom rope and like he just can't like to me, like if you're gonna do that, like have him like be reaching for the bottom rope and then like he's so close but like he just like does like a he just like he can't, so he just taps out because he can't reach the rope and like Gunther like drags him back, like one of those things. So make it look like a real struggle, like really. That's why I was like okay, like, and again I didn't expect like Judgment Day John Cena blood wise, but I expected at least a little bit of blood, like
I thought there'd be
I
more
don't know.
chops. I thought there'd be a lot more chops. I really
Oh
did. I
yeah,
thought
like
he
I
chopped
thought
him way more than he did.
for sure. I thought his chest was gonna be bloodied from chops, like, cause like
Mhm.
in my mind going into it, I'm like, "Eff it, dude! Like this is literally your last match, supposedly your last match, right?" We'll see if that ends up being the thing, and so why not? Why not go balls to the wall? Like, what do you have to lose? Like, I mean, of course he's probably doing movies and stuff, but like to me, like,
Right.
dude, like if I'm not gonna be wrestling after this for a while, and I could probably chill for a bit, even if I get hurt, big whoop, like my arm will heal, like I'm not saying go out there and be reckless, obviously, but like this is it, man. You're building up a whole year for this, and like you just kind
Yeah.
of smirk,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's
That's
why,
fair. I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't love that.
excuse me, that's why I can see why it is kind of like a slap in the face to a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um, and
I just
like the
And I
go
would say
ahead.
to Fernando, and Fernando, I appreciate you, Fernando. I mean, I just didn't have a
Let me
problem
pull
with
up
him
the chat.
tapping. I thought it was fine. I didn't have any issue with him tapping. I mean, if you did, that's okay. I mean, that's fair to have that thought. I mean, I would never say you can't have. Him tapping was fine for me. There's different ways you could have done it, like you were saying, Ash. There's different ways to play it and make it feel like more of a, like you said, a fight, and then him after just the kind of the way he did kind of smile afterwards, like, all right, you kind of, oh, you're playing us, but you just kind of, tapped out, I mean, there's ways you could have done it better than what they did, but him tapping just in general, I did not have a problem with.
Yeah, and right here, Lucifer said, "Yeah, but with Gunther saying he was gonna make John give up, WWE needed him to tap. They shot their own foot before they picked up the rifle," which is, I like that. You're pretty clever there, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, dude, that's like pretty spot on. And because Gunther is one, I mean, yes, like, do bad guys go out there and make proclamations that don't hold up? Yeah, but Gunther is one of those rare ones, I guess you can call it, that when he says something, it needs to happen. Like it needs to follow through, right? Like, and he's not one of those that goes out there and just like makes like it's just like I don't know, like making like absurd proclamations and just going out there like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do this,
yeah,
this, and this. Like
that's-
what he says is believable. Like he said, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna make you tap out, and he did. So when he says stuff like that, like you need to keep his words solid, right? Almost like he's a
yeah,
good guy. So when he does go back to that side or go
yep,
to that side on the main roster, he
absolutely.
it means something. It means even more at that point.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, like that's why I'm really interested to see how they have Gunther follow up. I know there's some clips like when he was walking to the car, like fans were like chasing them down and stuff, and he had to have security, which is crazy.
Yeah,
And I don't know, I didn't see all of it, like I said, but I saw a couple like 10-second clips or whatever where like fans were chanting like "F you to Triple H" and
yeah,
just like all these things or whatever. Which, I mean, honestly though, like to me, like yeah, make your voice heard. If you're there and you spent a good amount of money and you're pissed off, chant. Like that's that's within your right, like you're there, chant
Yeah.
whatever, with don't be disrespectful, obviously, but like chant what you want to, say what you got to say. But like people chasing down Gunther and like following him to his car and stuff like that, it's like, bro, relax,
That's
And it
yeah.
is a callback, right? Like in a way, it's not even in a way, but like I'm sure if you're Gunther, it's like hell yeah, like I got these people pissed off, that's great for your character and everything. And that's that was the whole vibe in like the 90s and stuff like that. Like that's how you made it, right? But to me, dude, like nowadays people are just so crazy. People are insane. Like so just I'm glad he has security. And again, that was just in the moment thing, but people are probably just pissed off because they didn't get what they wanted and they spent thousands of dollars. But yeah, they there was something else that I wanted to comment on that I saw here.
Like people had to know that Cena wasn't going to win that match. I mean, I just don't know how you could go, even
A
though
lot of people
if you're
know.
if
A
you're a
lot of people
fan. I mean,
thought.
I get some people are fans and they love Cena and they want to see him win, but in storyline, I mean, I don't see how anybody. I mean, I understand you again wanting him to win, but it just didn't make sense for him to win. It just didn't make any sense. The story they were telling, it just wasn't going to be. I mean, I don't. You can be mad about it and show your frustration, in the right way, but I mean, it's just I mean, usually, I mean, I like that they're getting mad just because they're telling a good story of he's going to lose and Gunther. You don't like Gunther, so you're going to get pissed that he won. I mean, I mean that's great, but yeah, the chasing him down in the when he's going to his car, I was like,
It's
oh my
crazy.
gosh, that's crazy. That's a
Crazy shit,
little
dude.
yeah, that's way too far.
Crazy shit, man. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. And it's just kind of interesting looking back on it too because I don't know, man. I really expected more from the match, and I don't
Yeah,
even feel
I did too.
I don't feel disappointed in the match. I just
No, that's
expected
fine.
like maybe either a little bit more or something different. I guess is where I'm at with it. So I'm kind of indifferent on it. But again, the ending, I'm not gonna say it killed it because that's for me that's not fitting. But to me, it really was like, damn, like he really tapped out, and it's just like now that face is everywhere. Like I don't know if you've been on Twitter, but like that's like becoming a meme now. And like his face, like him smirking, being in the sleeper hold. It's I don't know, man. It's just not a good look. Like that's not the
No,
kind of meme and like the gif or whatever that you want coming out of Saturday Night's main event, Cena's last
no.
match, and the ending of the match. Like that's the final moment that people are gonna see, and it's him smirking, like
Yeah, yeah,
tapping out. It's and again, like I said earlier, I can understand because again, watching it live, that's kind of where I was. I was like, wow, like, and to me, it was just like I was just kind of in the moment where like, damn, like this is really it. Like this is kind of crazy, Because again, like not even being the biggest Cena fan, but it is still the end of an era in a lot of ways, and the dude did so much for the company in a time where if they didn't have someone like him, who knows if it would be where it's at right now. I'm not saying they would have died or anything crazy like that, but excuse me, he was the good, like the clean cut guy that WWE needed when they were going through some shit and they were in a muddy situation, like with the Benoit, the Guerrero passing, and all that stuff. So Cena was their ticket out of that dark space, and I think if you weren't watching it like live during that time frame, maybe it doesn't really hit as much. But like I don't know, and thinking about it too, like during the match they were chanting Super Cena. Like when would you have ever expected to hear a Super Cena chant? And I think
right.
excuse me, that was another reason why people were so deflated. And again, like just seeing I don't know if people I mean it had to be because he tapped out, but I think it was a mixture of like people live were just a mixture of disappointed because he lost and disappointed because he tapped out. But I think
Mhm.
probably more so pissed off because he tapped out.
Yeah,
Looking back on it, because obviously because of them lashing out of Triple H, which I just think is hilarious. Like
that was
it's funny.
fun.
I just think it's great. Oh, and tonight's the start of a new era, Sean. So we'll have to wrap up before the new era starts. That's I think the third one that we've gotten this year. I joked that it's becoming Tony Khan's new announcements because whenever there's a dip, Tony Khan has a new announcement. So Triple H is stating it's the start of a new era. So this is a day in history, 12/15/25. In
There you go.
case you didn't know.
Yeah, I think no Cena. Just as far as just go back to just quick, I appreciate John Cena for what he did for like I said for the company at a time when it was at its worst, and he kept it at least kept us talking about it, maybe good or bad at the time, but like I said, he got better over time. He really devoted time to his craft. He really wanted to try to get better. He had some really good stuff with The Rock even back in the day. I mean, The Rock Cena stuff was, I mean, it was really good at that time. I mean, it was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. Cena was very polarizing, but he was very fun he's a very fun guy to talk about, that's for sure. But he brought a lot to what he did. He gave everything he had to what he was trying to do. And to the one thing I didn't like about this show is when he's like, trying to say, oh, and I don't think he didn't want to. I just think to sit there and say, oh, I want to have all these new guys come in. I want to have all these new guys show what they can do. It's like, no, that's the one thing I did not like about this show. I did not. And we'll bring it up in the first match, and oh gosh, I've got so many things to say about that. Oh man,
Go
not
into it,
good,
yeah.
a lot of it. But I just did not need Oba Femi and Cody Rhodes right now. Nobody needed to have that match right now. That's a effing match that you freaking build to over time when Oba's on
Hmm.
the main roster, when he's ready to be there full time. They keep bringing these guys off, putting them back on, taking them off, putting them on. That is the way to hurt somebody. Don't do that, WWE. You think it's helping them, but it's not. It's hurting them. And having Obafemi win the title, NXT title, which was fine if you're going to do that. But if you're going to do it, keep him on NXT. Don't bring him up to the main roster in any way right now. Let's build it up to where if he's going to lose, I mean, yeah, I don't like guys losing the NXT title to move up, but that's just the way it is. That's what they're going to do. It's fine. Nobody watches, or enough people don't watch NXT to know that. Okay, if they know it, they know it. That's fine. But if he's on the main roster, you build it up, you tell a great story, and you have him have a match. But here, they just put it out there, and then they had an absolute finish that we knew was going to happen. Drew coming out to attack Cody. It
Oh
was just
no,
so.
dude.
Oh God, I
No.
hate everything about it.
I gave them way too much credit because yes, I thought Drew was gonna come out, but I did not expect that shit of a finish. Like you go through all that because to me, I'm right there with you. The only reason I wasn't as upset with NXT talent making, an appearance on the main roster or a main card is because of what John Cena said, right? Like at least there was a way to make it make sense this time to be like a temporary thing and whatever. Like John Cena, whatever. It's for Cena, right? So at least we could go and make that excuse. But for me, I was in the camp of okay, it's a shoot for Ricky Starks. Like you have him retain, you
Yes.
Obafemi for I to me in my brain, Obafemi's perfect debut would be the Raw after Mania. Yeah, you can make a case for the Rumble, but I think this year's Rumble is going to be too stacked with like Jericho's and stuff like that, where it's not going to mean as
Yes.
much. But like your Raw after Mania, it reminds me of when Lesnar debuted with Paul
Yep.
Heyman. The next big thing. Obviously, you're not going to call
Gosh.
him that, but you'd have him debut and just be a monster, the ruler, right? Like that dude is a beast, you know?
Yep.
So do that. Ricky Starks and Cody have a perfect story right there. Yes, probably 95% of your WWE fans may not know it, but
But tell it.
it's
Tell it
really quick. You
again.
don't even need to say the words or the letters AEW. You just say Cody's perfect for it too. Cody can say we have history. We've known each other from the indies, from my time outside WWE. They've already discussed it. You don't like they still with New Japan, right? Like we've traveled the world together, type shit. You know what I mean? Before we made it to WWE. So there's your perfect match right there. Ricky can lose to Cody. It puts a chip on Ricky's shoulder for when Ricky does move up to the main roster, whenever that may be within the next year. Then you have something to go back on. Not saying you address it immediately, but depending on the lay of the land at that time, again within the next year or so, because I think Ricky could still use some time in NXT, but Oba is just ready. Um, but I just feel like that would have been a good callback for if and when you need a story, or something to branch off on. They didn't do it though. And I'm like, okay. I thought Oba was very impressive. Like, dude killed it
Yep.
on SmackDown though. He was just he I was like, oh my god, like of course, like I've seen him before,
Yeah.
but it just hit different on SmackDown, dude. And when he was face to face with Cody, his size difference,
Yeah.
$1,000,000, dude, and like a completely different way. Like he doesn't have to wear like a snazzy suit. Like he's out there being himself, dude, and it's just something different about him, man. And
I didn't
then you
like
get to
the
the
I didn't like the Cena line. My time is now. I didn't like that. I would that did not feel genuine
yeah,
to me. That was kind of I would have kept that out. I would have
yeah,
figured out something else.
yeah. I see that. But yeah, and then the match itself, like I thought it was going good. Like to me, it made sense.
Yeah.
They both played their roles very well. Cody was selling, but not too much. But obviously, he's the smaller guy. But he's not to the point where it's like, oh my god, like he can't even get a punch in type thing. It made sense, right? It was a really good match. And then all of a sudden, you see Drew slide in and just a straight up DQ. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like I expected, if anything, not to get, of course, not to get a clean finish, but I expected it to be a situation, and again, not advocating for it, but just being it is what it is. The referee to get knocked down or be distracted. Drew clocks Cody. Oba takes advantage of it, hits his finisher, doesn't realize that Drew interfered until after the 3 count. Then he's like, he sees Drew and he's like, he kind of puts two and two together. He's like, oh shit, like you just interfered in my match, and that's how I got the upper hand. So now Oba's pissed at Drew. So then you have a two-way. Oba's gonna want to get a rematch on Cody in the future because he didn't quote unquote get the clean win, and then now he's pissed at Drew for interfering in his business. But excuse me, I don't know. Like it's just, and like I'm just kind of tired of Drew and Cody now at this point
Yeah.
because Drew's not gonna win, and I'm tired of Drew losing. Like Drew deserves so much more, and we can't go back
Yeah.
to Drew and Punk. So it's like, what do you do with him?
Yeah.
What do you
And
do?
and that's the whole problem too. You brought it up. I mean, I see what you're saying about that. I mean, that would have been fine. But then you have Oba is mad at Drew, but we're not supposed to like either of them. So who are we supposed to like in that? Like, I mean, Oba is mad at Drew, but Drew we're supposed to dislike, even though we love Drew, but we're supposed to dislike him. We're supposed to. I mean, like, who are we supposed to root for? That's the problem that WWE is getting into. Is they're trying to have all this ambivalence and all these like, oh, there's these tweener guy. Oh, you kind of like him, but you kind of don't. It's like, no, I want to like somebody. I want to hate somebody. That's the whole thing about wrestling. Like, I don't want to Oba and Drew. I'm not supposed to like either guy. Like, who am I gonna? Who am I supposed to side? It just drives me crazy when they go that route. I don't need all that craziness in there. I don't need triple threat thoughts. I don't want. I just want give me one on one good feuds that I can. And Drew Cody, I'm with you. It's just wait. I mean, or Punk and Drew went too long. This is going almost longer than that. Good grief.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I agree. There's it. Lucifer is like, I actually didn't expect Drew to come in. I genuinely wish they could book matches to have an actual finish without interruptions. Yeah, and like, I mean, I don't know. And again, like you don't even have to have this match to begin with. Wrestling is the beauty where like you don't have to even be in this situation to begin
Nope.
with. So that's why like some of the times like I just don't even feel bad for them. Like
No, I
you
don't at
literally
all.
did this. So I don't know. I don't get it, man. But Sol Ruka, I think it was Fernando. I brought her up earlier in the chat. What up, Fernando? Uh, the Soul, bro. Soul is a
Soul
like,
Snatcher. Soul Snatcher.
yeah, yeah. He says Soul Crusher, so then it made me question myself.
Yeah.
It's a Soul Snatcher, right? That's the name of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
Soul
yeah.
Snatcher. Yeah.
I mean, Crusher, Snatcher, all the above.
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
It's
It's
good. It's
one
cool.
of the coolest moves ever. It kind of makes me like cringe a little bit each time because I'm just like, I don't know, like it. I don't know, like to me, it just kind of defies logic in a lot of ways. Like just watching, it's like I don't know, it's just crazy to see. But it's one of those moves though where like the opponent has to be like pretty much like perfectly lined up, and you can't hit necessarily anywhere. And I always remember, well, someone I forget. It sounds stupid, but like I remember this saying, but I forget who said it. They were like, make sure your finisher is one of those where you can hit anywhere and you don't have to be tied down to like a turnbuckle or like jumping off of something or like
Mhm.
throwing them into the ropes or something like that. So it just made me think of that. But overall, she is just so smooth, man. That
Yeah.
match, and like I like her because the gymnastic moves, quote unquote, like the handsprings, the cartwheels and stuff like that, when she does it, it's so smooth and it actually flows into whether it's a punch or it's going to be a connecting move or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whereas like other wrestlers, it's like a cartwheel, a handspring, and then they stop, and then a couple steps, and then you go into the clothesline or whatever you're doing. It doesn't flow. It's like cool. Like I see you can do a handspring and a cartwheel, but like this isn't gymnastics. Like this is wrestling. So, but with her, man, it just flows right into it. And I think they
Hmm.
have I think they have a low key star right there. Like I think she's gonna be one of those like a Stephanie Vaquer, where she just hits the main roster and really connects with the fans. And it's gonna be kind of one of those like easy transitions.
Hmm.
But I hope whereas they didn't with Stephanie, and I know like with Naomi, almost like getting injured, but getting pregnant, um, they had to make changes there. But in my perfect world, Stephanie still wouldn't be the champion right now. It would have been like maybe like a crowning at Mania type thing. I would have had her play the long run, and I've said this before, like going through Rumble, winning the Rumble, and
Yep.
then going on her road to WrestleMania. Um, so that's what I see for Sol Rugen. Not right now. Shit, if they needed to, they could, but I don't see like I would say this time, like going into Rumble next year, if you're having her on the main roster, because I think maybe her and Nova Femi would be good pairings to like debut on the Raw after Mania type thing, if for completely different reasons, completely different impacts, right? Um,
Yeah.
Obafemi, obviously, like the power, the monster, like that, checking
Yes.
all those boxes. But then Sol Ruka being that breath of fresh air in the women's division. Like she's not the best on the mic, but she can talk, dude. It's not like cringe when you're
Yeah.
listening to her. She can hold her
Mhm.
own. She's obviously great in the ring. Now, credit where credit is due, Bailey is pretty much like the ideal person you would want to choose if you're a female, or any wrestler, to be fair, to go in there and have like a dance partner with, because what did they used to say about like Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels? They could wrestle a broomstick or whatever. Like
Yeah.
Bailey is just at that point now. Like she's just kind of like an Natalia too, like just so solid, right? And can make anyone look good. So of course, you got to shout out Bailey, but Soul
Yeah.
like held her own, man. So I thought that match was really fun. You saw the whole card, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Okay.
I definitely enjoyed the match. I mean, this is match. If you're gonna do this match, which again, I wouldn't do it in theory. Now I wouldn't do it, but if I'm gonna do it, I was gonna put Soul over in this one because again, Bailey's fine. She's not gonna. She doesn't lose anything by losing this match. I mean, Soul Ruka, you need to highlight what she can do. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's the only thing I would just be careful of. I think everything you said was right on. I mean, it worked for Sol Ruka for most of her matches, like the gymnast feeling stuff, but it just works. It does work for her. I just would be careful. I wouldn't just lean so much into that. I would, just be able to do moves that are still kind of cool wrestling moves, but just mix the wrestling and the stuff. Don't just go to that stuff too much where that feels like that's the whole part of what you do. I don't want that. If you understand what I'm saying, like I like it. It's fun with her. It makes sense with her to do it. It's just I just wouldn't lean on it all the time. Is what I guess where I'm going.
Yeah.
But I like the match. It was very good. Soul should have won, even though again I wouldn't have done it. But Bailey, I'm still curious where they're going with her and Lyra. I don't get a sense of where they're going. I don't really know. But I'm along for the ride.
I
Bailey's
still
fine
can't
though.
buy it. I can't buy on Lyra, man. I'm trying so hard. I just still
I
can't. Something with Lyra just doesn't connect with me, man. And I've tried
I
so,
get that.
like, from the jump, it just didn't connect with me. And I was like, all right, like, let me just give it time. And she's really good in the ring. It's nothing like
Yeah,
that. It's just the character
yeah.
for me, man. I don't know. Like, it's just not my cup of tea, I guess.
Not much is
But
happening right now. I mean, her and Becky was fine. I mean, I saw where they were going with that. And then the stuff with Bailey, it was, I mean, they were trying, but yeah, now I feel like the last month it's just, yeah, she just feels flat again. Like she's gone back to where she was before the Becky stuff started. I don't know what we're supposed to think about her. I don't know what her goals are. We just don't really know. I don't know. She just, yeah, I'm with you on her now. I don't, I'm losing, not losing faith because they can make it work, but they've got to do something pretty soon because
Yeah.
I am losing a little bit of faith that they'll make it work with her because I she's good in the ring too. It sucks because she is very good in the ring.
Yeah, and like the woo thing, like when her
Yeah,
music hits, I hate it. I fucking hate it. I just can't. I can't. I hate that
that's
the
fair.
fans do it. Like I'm happy that she gets the support, right? Like
Yeah,
her personally, like it's more awkward if people don't respond, right? So I'm happy. I'm happy people buy into it. I I can't, man. And I don't know. Not trying to be mean. It's nothing personal. And she's probably, obviously nothing personal. None of this is personal. It's just
right.
character
No,
talk, right?
absolutely.
But it's just like, man, like, I don't know. Like, I try so hard. And I just feel like she's one of those, like, sometimes I'll listen to other people. I'm just like, man, like, why am I not there with them, with her? But I don't know. But the tag match I thought was so well done. And I wish they had more time. Of course, it was Leon Slater and oh my gosh, Javon Evans facing off against AJ Lee and Dragon Lee for the tag team championships. I'm always on the other side of screw it, pull the trigger, do something crazy. They probably never do. That's why I always say don't put your money on whatever I choose. Put it probably on the opposite. And that would have been one of those situations because I was like, screw it, man, do something crazy for a month, a couple weeks. Like put the tag team titles on Javon and Leon. It'd be something cool. No one would be expecting it, especially with how you're going to end the night, with that shit show, with everyone being pissed at Cena. So do something fun, do something crazy. It'll be the first time ever, I think, a TNA talent has had a WWE title, with it being a tag team title. Be great exposure for Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Do it for a couple weeks and then have them, whether it's on a NXT show even or whatever. I mean, that wouldn't make sense for it to be on NXT, but even if it was on like a random Monday Night Raw that they built up, since they don't have any other matches prior or PLEs, because there's not another Saturday night's main event, right? Between now and the Rumble. Let me double check. Because I
There
feel like
is
maybe
one.
there
There's
is
one in
one. Is
Montreal at the beginning, like in the
That's
middle of.
before the Rumble?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think there's one in
Yeah.
January.
Now that I was saying that, I was like, I feel like I do remember now them saying something about Saturday Night's main event in
I think it's
January
Montreal, I believe. Um,
20. That does sound right. Yeah. What date? Okay. Yeah. January 2026 is confirmed for the 24th. Yeah. In Montreal. Okay. So, I
right
mean,
before.
what's
It's like the
today's
week
date?
before, right? Is that the week before the Rumble?
Yeah.
Which is
Maybe.
kind of crazy if it is. That'd be kind of wild. It feels weird to have a Saturday Night main event. I mean, I remember
Yeah,
thinking
it
about
is
it,
because
but
the Rumble is the 31st.
wow, that's really interesting. I'm surprised they're having one the week before the Rumble. That's really
Yeah. Like,
interesting.
why do you do this to yourself?
I don't know. It's just
Stupid.
overload, man.
Fucking stupid.
I mean, going back to what you said,
But yeah, then they could drop it as center. Even I mean, that's over a little over a month now. But I mean, why not? What else are you doing with the tag team division? I mean, and in the meantime, you can have the Usos. That's why I was like, you don't need to do the Usos and the New Days like tonight. Drag that out. Have them go back and forth a little bit longer. The Usos literally just got back together last week. You could have dragged it out. So I don't know. You could have bought some time and have some fun. So, and again, not saying you even, you know, need to call up. I don't think Javon should be called up right now. He's doing well and doing more. He's doing great in NXT. Leon Slater is obviously doing his thing in TNA. That's a TNA talent, so obviously not going to do anything there. But that would be great exposure for TNA, especially with them going into their new deal on AMC. So I'm sure they would love that hype, you know. So I just thought it checked off some fun boxes. I totally get why they did it. It's not their talent, right? So why would you want to hype up someone who's not your talent? But with how contracts go, man, like I'm sure if his TNA contract ended within the next 6 months to a year, they would be making an offer for Leon. So I
yeah,
don't know. I was just like, why not? Why not do something fun? But again, business wise, 100% see why they didn't do it. But the match was just I really enjoyed the match. It was fantastic for the time that they had. Of course, AJ had that one miss up there, which at first I didn't even know. Like I was like, "Yo, like was that supposed to happen?" Because AJ never slips. So obviously, well, not obviously, but apparently that was not supposed to happen, and it was, he slipped up, which shit happens. It's not a big deal,
yeah,
but with how well Leon reacted to it and went for the cover, I was like, props, dude. Like you really played it off. So that's why I was like,
yeah,
was that just part of the thing? So
right.
props to all them. But yeah, your thoughts on that before we wrap up.
Yeah, the I thought it was a fun match. I've really enjoyed. I never thought I would, but AJ and Dragon Lee have been good together for sure. I've
What a weird
definitely enjoyed
pairing.
it. Yeah, it is weird, but it's worked. I mean, their matches they flow really well together. They work really well as a team. I mean, AJ, what I was really I'm curious is how they do his last year next year because it's like they can't. With Cena, they could go with the a lot of the with the Punks and the Ortons or with the Edge initially and Sheamus's and some of the guys like that. AJ doesn't have a lot of those guys in WWE right now that he's worked with before, other than Cena. So I'm really curious how they do this last year. I hope they make it. I mean, they're not going to make it like they did with Cena. I mean, I understand because he wasn't as big of a star in WWE as Cena was, but I hope they make it mean something because I mean, AJ's been so again. You could argue he was. I mean, he didn't get the the eyes on him like Cena did because he wasn't up at that level. He just didn't get a chance to really show that for a long time. But AJ was one of the better workers and one of the better characters for a long time. I hope they make it feel important and make it feel special this last year. Because I want that for him. He's earned it, and he's paid his dues, man. He's been so great. I've been a fan of him for so long. I hope it does well. And but it was a fun match. I liked it. I didn't think they were going to switch it, and it was
Yeah.
fine. I mean, Javon again. I wouldn't have Javon be on the main roster this much when he's in NXT. Still, I wouldn't do it. But at least they're giving him good matches to have with different people, and it's showing his skill set, which is just high flying and awesome. Really, really cool. So
Yeah, dude. I think both of them, they're so similar, but still very different in their own right. And it's just really cool to see two similar talents kind of be in two different companies but active at the same time, and Javon and Leon, because they're so similar. I think someone had said like they could be the Hardy Boys 2.0. Yeah, Fernando. um,
Mm.
they're just fun, man. Like great opponents, but really good as a tag team too.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, man. So that was pretty much the entire. Well, not even pretty much. That was the whole card. Wanted to go over all that with you, obviously, and wrap up right before Raw, so everyone can transition over into that. But yeah, man, we had to talk about Cena. We had to get all that out there in the open.
yeah.
But
What a career!
yeah, man. Any last thoughts?
No, I'd say what I'm excited for. I mean, we didn't. I mean, it'll be tonight. We didn't. She wasn't on the show last Saturday, but I just want to say again, I love what Stephanie Vaquer's done. Um, I'm excited. I was just thinking about some feuds in my head as we were talking. There's a lot of good, but I'm with you. I would not have put the title on her as soon as they did. I just thought that was a missed opportunity. They could have built to that so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stand by that. But the matches she could have, one match I'm going to throw it out there whenever she comes back, gosh, I would love to see if Bianca's turning heel, Belair and Stephanie Vaquer. Oh
Yeah,
my
dude.
gosh, I cannot. That's got to be a
Yeah, I
Mania
miss
match.
Bianca.
That's got to be a Mania match. It has to be. I would do. You could do Jade and Bianca this next year, and then it'd be in Saudi Arabia, which would really suck. That just makes me so pissed off. But you
Yeah.
can still build to that at the Saudi show, even though I don't want to see it be in Saudi Arabia. If you're going to build to that, I'd love to have it be here in the States. But there's so many good feuds she could have, and she could work with so many great people. I'm excited what the future holds for her. I just want to throw her out there and say that I'm loving what she's doing right now.
I agree. I would be remiss though, because it's not me if I don't. But every time Bianca is brought up, I have to say, and like the potential of a heel turn, I will die on this hill that her and Montez need to turn, even if it's not together at the same time. But they both need to turn, do their own thing, and then come together because they are a power couple, just waiting to print money for WWE. And I don't understand what they are doing.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, right now Bianca's hurt, so it is what it is.
yeah,
But dude, like just they like visually they're just like the perfect couple. Like they look like just so good together. Like they balance each other and complement each other so well.
right.
Montez has that like bombastic personality just like Bianca does, but it's different but similar at the same time. Obviously they had chemistry, so they'll be able to play off of each other. And dude, like I swear, like people call me crazy, but I just see on a Monday Night Raw opening the show Montez Ford and Bianca Belair standing in the middle of the ring. The whole arena is just black. The spotlight is on them, just standing in the middle of the ring. He's wearing a crown because that's what he does. He has the heavyweight championship. She has the women's heavyweight championship.
Oh
And
man.
they're just gloating, man. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but I see it. I see it. And yeah, so you bringing up Bianca, I have to mention that because I will put that into the universe until it happens.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm not rushing it for Montez. I'm not saying he needs to be the heavyweight champion within like a year or anything like that.
Right.
But I think with the proper build, and I'm not even saying him and Dawkins need to break up because I think Dawkins would be the perfect heavy, the perfect bodyguard for Montez. They can still be boys, they can still be tight, but kind of like focusing on their own goals. And I don't know, man. I think Dawkins would be like the perfect bodyguard. Like the build, like like his build is perfect
Yeah.
for him. Like I don't know. I just think that he can transition that so well. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Well,
But
this was fun. I just want to say, actually, too, I to have women that love wrestling that we get to have talk about it on this kind of a platform is also great. And you're one of the few people I hear that gets to share your thoughts. Is a woman out there on wrestling that really has that out there. I mean, Stephanie, I don't know what's happened to Stephanie. I hope she's okay. I haven't seen her in a while. I haven't heard anything from her, but I appreciate what what you've done with this podcast. It's gotten so much more love here lately, and I'm loving everybody in the
yeah,
chat. It's fun, and thanks for having me on. This was just fun to talk about Saturday Night Main Event and what we got for WWE coming forward. I hope there's good stuff. I'm excited. I mean, it's not as good as it was a couple years ago, but there's still a lot of good things that I'm excited about. We'll see what they do. We'll see where they
yeah,
go.
man. I appreciate you, my friend. You've done a lot for me and for the show. So I probably wouldn't be exactly where I am without your help, man. So I appreciate you. But yeah, we'll definitely have to get on.
It's all
Oh
Sai more
yeah,
than me. I
Sai.
gotta give it to him.
No, my
Sai.
guy Sai, he's dope. Yeah, shout out Sai. But all right, guys, everyone in the chat, appreciate you all. K Smith, Fernando, Lucifer, all you guys. Mohammed, I saw you in there earlier, my friend. All you guys. Everyone, have a good night, and until next time, peace out.